Hey guys, I hope all of you are safe and healthy. So, what happened on May 7th, 2020 in Visakhapatnam, and especially with the people who are affected by the styrene gas leak, was very disturbing. So, the main motive of this video is to provide information as to what might have happened, along with the necessary first aid measures and precautions to be taken so as to stay safe. So, let's get into our video. In the early hours on Thursday, while humans and animals are fast asleep, the accidental inhalation of styrene vapors led to chaos, panic, and death of humans and several animals, and leaving the rest to critical medical care. So, what are these styrene vapors that took away the lives of humans and several animals? So, as you can see on the screen are the molecular structures along with the molecular formula. So, let us gain a little bit knowledge about it. But before that, you need to know a few terminologies. What is a monomer? A polymer, polymerization, and an initiator. So here, styrene is a monomer, which gets converted to a polystyrene, which is a polymer, with the help of an initiator, benzyl peroxide. And this chemical reaction is known as polymerization. So the reason I shared you this chemistry part is to clear few questions that are running in your mind, such as LG is a polymer company, then what is styrene all about? People died because of a gas leak, but they say styrene is a liquid. They say storage issues led to the gas leak. Then how did the liquid change to a gaseous state? So let's have a look into it regarding the characteristics of styrene. So what is styrene? It is a synthetic form of an organic compound. It is a monomer with a boiling point of 145 degrees centigrade. Styrene is also known as vinyl benzene, ethynyl benzene, cinnamine, or phenylethylene. So coming to the characteristics of styrene. Styrene is a colorless liquid that evaporates easily, and maybe this characteristic feature of styrene would have accompanied with some maintenance issues in the factory and would have led to the styrene gas leak tragedy. Styrene solvent vapors are heavier than air. In high concentrations, styrene has an unpleasant odor. It is flammable. It is insoluble in water and is less dense than water. So let's see about the uses. So styrene plays an important role as a commercial chemical. So as we've seen in the polymerization reaction, styrene gets converted to polystyrene, and this polystyrene is the commonly used plastic that is used in the production of polystyrene plastics, resins, and copolymer, making of synthetic rubber, plastics, and in agricultural products. Styrene is also approved for food use in the making of food containers and disposable cups. So due to this increased or worldwide use of plastic, styrene production increased to 35 million tons by 2018. So now let's have a look about the occupational exposure standards. So first and foremost, let's talk about the workers who will be exposed to handling these sort of chemicals or solvent vapors. So for them, this NIOSH, that is the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, sets some limits, such as permissible limits or recommended limits or exposure limits. So according to them, they have given three permissible limits, such as IDLH, REL, and PEL. IDLH, immediately dangerous to life or health when exposed to 700 ppm, and REL, recommended exposure limits. For a short term, it is about 100 ppm, and time weighted average, it is 50 ppm. And the permissible exposure limits are 100 ppm, time weighted average for 8 hours, 200 ppm, PEL ceiling, and 600 ppm, single time period up to 5 minutes in any 3 hours. Now let's have a look about the GHS hazard statements. So what is GHS and what are these hazard statements? So GHS is the globally harmonized system of classification and labeling of chemicals. So for any chemical or any solvent to be handled in any factory or industry, this GHS classifies that chemical or solvent and it allots a label to that particular solvent or chemical. So accordingly, this globally harmonized system has allotted the labeling signal word for styrene as danger, and it has classified this styrene as it is a flammable, it is a health hazard, and it is an irritant. So you can see the respective pictograms on screen. The fire indication indicates that styrene is a flammable, and the second pictogram is indicated as a human body with a hazard at the chest region, which indicates it is a health hazard for the human beings. And the third pictogram, representing an exclamation mark, indicates that it is an irritant. So let's see about the hazard statements that are released by the GHS. Styrene is a flammable liquid and vapor. It may be fatal if swallowed and enters the airways, may be harmful in contact with skin, causes skin irritation, causes serious eye irritation, harmful if inhaled, may cause respiratory irritation, cause damage to organs through prolonged or repeated exposure, and toxic to aquatic life with long lasting effects. So, now coming to the short term effects and long term effects. That is, what if, in case, any person or any animal gets in contact with the styrene liquid or gas? So, what are the short term effects on them, or what are the long term effects on a longer duration of exposure? So, the short term effects are irritates the eyes, nose, skin, and respiratory tract. Upon inhalation of vapors, it causes chemical pneumonitis, increased nasal mucus secretion, unconsciousness, dizziness, and drowsiness, and vertigo. And coming to long-term effects, it defats the skin, which may cause blistering of the skin and development of dermatitis. It drastically affects the central nervous system. It affects on the liver. Animal exposure results in weakness, tremor, coma, and death after 30 to 60 minutes of exposure. The EPA, the Environment Protection Agency, has stated effects on CNS, liver, kidney, eye, and nasal irritation in animals as well. Now let's have a look about the first aid measures to be taken. Eye care. First, check the victim for contact lens and remove if present. Flush the victim's eyes with water or normal saline solution for 10 to 15 minutes, holding the eyelids apart. Do not put any ointments, oils, or medication in the victim's eyes without specific instruction from a physician. Immediately transport the victim after flushing eyes to a hospital even if no symptoms such as redness or irritation develop. Skincare. Wash the affected skin with plenty of soap and water while removing and isolating all the contaminated clothing. Reach a doctor if symptoms such as redness or irritation develop. Inhalation. Immediately leave the contaminated area. If symptoms such as wheezing, coughing, shortness of breath, or burning in the mouth, throat, or chest develop, call a physician. Provide proper respiratory protection to the rescuers entering an unknown atmosphere. So, whenever possible, a self contained breathing apparatus should be used. So, if the victim is convulsing or unconscious, do not give anything by mouth. Ensure the victim's airways is open and lay the victim on his or her side with the head lower than the body. So, let's have a look about the precautions or the preventive measures to be taken. Talking about the workers who handle these sort of chemicals or solvents must be aware of the MSDS, that is Material Safety Data Sheet. As the name indicates, Material Safety Data Sheet. For every material, such as be it a chemical or a solvent, there will be a safety document in which all the necessary information related to that particular chemical or solvent will be provided in a data sheet or a document. So according to this, proper training should be given to all the workers for necessary information regarding that particular solvent. And also, workers while handling such chemicals or solvents should wear proper PPE, that is personal protective equipment. As if these are chemicals, the worker should be wearing chemical resistant gloves, safety shoes, apron, head mask, goggles, face shield, etc. A self-contained breathing apparatus must be available when required, and of course, proper training should be given how to handle it. One need to follow the first aid measures in case of accidental leakage. Usage of wet cloth as a mask to cover the nose and mouth to prevent inhalation of toxic gases is recommended. So the concerned people at the factory should take the responsibility to display these sort of cautionary precautions stating PPE required. So here I would like to provide you the emergency contact numbers just in case required. Please have a look about it and try to memorize or in case take a note about it. National Emergency 112, Police Station or the Police Control Room 100, Fire Station 101, National Ambulance 108, Ambulance, especially for the pregnant women and the newborns 102. So, on a closing note, I would like to bring to your notice about no residential zone, at least around a certain radius from the industrial areas. Accidents may or may not happen depending upon many factors, such as maintenance issues, electric short circuits, etc. But what we public should practice or take the precautionary measures is to reside away from the industrial zones. Residing next to or around the industrial areas may cost your lives. be it in any form. Yesterday it was an air pollution, today it might be water pollution, and tomorrow, I'll leave up to your thoughts. Residing around the industries may or may not be your decision, but who should be blamed about the deaths of cows, buffaloes, cats, dogs, and animals? Do think about it. Be alert, expect the unexpected. Thank you for your patience. Please do subscribe to my channel, learn and imbibe if you found this video informative.